Hey everyone, I hope you guys are having a great day. Welcome back to another Web Dev Junkie video. So I did make a couple of style changes to this site. As you can see, I kind of made these images rounded along the borders. I made this look like kind of like a card, and I made the text inside of the title of the video a link. I also think I changed, you see how this is a full white border? I changed that, or a full white background. So yeah, if you've been watching this series, I'm basically just trying to build out a site where you can easily search through all the dev YouTubers and kind of see at a quick glance the top 20 videos that they do, just so you can see if you actually want to check them out further and go to like YouTube. So this is the GitHub repo that we're working off of. Basically, anyone's welcome to come in and try to contribute to this if you want, but so far no one has. But what I'm working on is this issue here, which is basically building out what you've seen. Some of the styling has changed. I kind of like what I've done here, but this is the initial draft that we're trying to kind of achieve. And for the most part, I think we're done with this story. Like, I'm not going to work on a subscribe button or a Discord button yet. That could be features added later on, but the filtering works. We can go over here, we can filter, stuff like that. So let's move on to something else. I'm going to mark this one as done. I guess I could just close it. There's nothing too strict of how I'm doing this stuff here. So let's move on to the video view, or the watch panel. Do this one. So I'm going to go ahead and claim it. I'm going to assign it to myself, and then I'm going to claim it. Claimed. Here we go. All right, so the watch panel is basically when you click on the video title or the thumbnail or the card, I guess, we're going to pull out a panel from the right side of the page, and it's going to show at the very top an embedded YouTube player. So that is what we're going to try to achieve today. If you're interested in checking that out, I definitely recommend you stick around. All right, so on this page, I'm missing a key somewhere. So on this page, we have these videos, right? So when someone clicks on one of these videos or the card or something, I want to pull out a panel over here. So we can probably achieve that by adding another component called watch panel. And we can dynamically have that toggle using props or state to have it hide or show. So let's start with doing that and see how hard it's going to be. So first I'm going to go to my panels page, and I am going to make another component here. Yeah, I guess we could just assume we have a watch panel component, and we want to pass in a property. So we could probably say video is what we're going to pass in. And bear with me, we haven't actually created this panel yet. We're going to in just a second. So don't be confused if you don't see it imported anywhere, because we haven't worked on it yet. So I'm going to go ahead and make a state variable called video and a set video setter. And I'm going to say use state and set it to null by default. I think if you don't pass it anything, it's going to be null by default, but I like to be explicit. So the watch panel, we basically want to only show this if we have a video on state. So one way we could do it is inside the component itself. We could hide and show stuff, or externally in this component, we could hide and show it. I don't know what the best practice is, but just do whatever you feel is best. I'm going to conditionally render that watch panel if and only if we have a video selected. So I'm going to do that. And we basically want to, when you click on one of the cards, so down here we have these video divs. But when you click on a video div, we want to open up that watch panel. So I could basically say on click, and we can say set video is equal to video. And make sure you do a fat arrow here so it doesn't mess up what you're working on. All right, so now I think we are set up. We should be able to click it and have something show up. So we need to go to our components folder and add a watch panel component. And I'm going to just put a hello world here just to make sure that it works. And I'm going to go back to this and import it. All right, so hopefully if you click on it, something popped up that says hello world. So we are making some progress. And if you click on it again, let's take it a step further. Let's actually go to the watch panel and let's take the video from props, and we want to render out the title of that video. I don't remember what it's called. I think it's just called title. Yep. Okay. It's called title. So again, we are trying to achieve this look and feel. Okay. So it's a panel on the right side of the page, and we want to basically show an embedded link with the title, and that's it. So first of all, to get this to be fixed to the right side of the page, we should probably use the fixed CSS property. So I'm going to go down here and make a new style called watch panel.css. Make sure we import that in our global file. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to just style a watch panel. And I'll say position is fixed on the right side of the page and on the top of the page. And we go back to watch panel, we can add that class to that div. Now if I click it, yeah, I think it's showing up here. But as you can see, there's no background. So let's just go ahead and keep on styling this a little bit. we need to make it, let's make the background white. Okay. So that'll show up here now. And we probably want to give it a fixed width of, let's just try 400 pixels for right now, see how it looks. That might be a little bit small. We can make this dynamic based on the width of your screen if you want to, but I'm just working on a static web version. I'm going to say padding, 20 pixels should probably be okay. And then we want it to be the full height of the page. So height of 100 VH will do the trick there. And then secondly, we want to put everything inside of it into a scroll bar. So overflow Y is hidden, overflow X. Actually, I screwed that up. Overflow X is hidden. Overflow Y could be scroll or auto. I'll just put scroll. How about that? Yeah, so go back to the image, zoom in a little bit. Notice here we want a title that says watch history. Let's go over here back to our watch panel. I'll split this so we can actually look at the styles as we do stuff. And inside of this, I'm going to add an H1 called watch. Is that what I called it? Watch? No, it's called, what did I call it? Watch history? Yeah. All right. So watch history, here we go. We need to display an embedded link. So I'm going to first check if there is a React component to do this. I'm going to say React YouTube embedded. And also start your search with npm because we don't want to watch blog posts about it. So let's click on the first one and then maybe the second one and the third one and see which one looks more. Okay, so the first one has a lot of downloads. So let's see if this is what we want. And there's also one called Light, which might be interesting. You just provided a title and an ID, and that's it. So this is a port. What is this? Defaults to null. I'm actually going to try the light one. Because although this one has like the most downloads, it looks like it has a lot of options you can use. And I don't want to take the time as of right now to figure out what I need to pass to it because they don't even say what's required or not. Like these are just the defaults. I guess you could probably just give it a video ID and do some stuff. But let's try the light one. If it doesn't work, we'll try the real one. So we could npm install this. So going back to our project, open up a new terminal. I'll say yarn add. That should bring it in. And then looks like we could just bring in this. Looks like they also import render from React DOM. I'm not sure if that's something. Oh no, we don't need that. All right, so let's just try giving it the title and the ID. I'll grab all this. So I'll put that there. Title we already got. Like that should be pretty straightforward. So I'll copy that out and put it there for title. Now for the ID, I think it's called video ID. So let's do this. We'll say video ID, save it, go back to our page and see what it looks like. I'm going to pin this so I know it's always the first tab. Global CSS cannot be imported within the node modules. Okay, so this doesn't work. Is there a way to turn off this? I don't care if it like... Okay, so I can't import this library because it's trying to dynamically include styles. Maybe there's a way to disable this with next. Let's see. A lot of people are saying we might have to customize Webpack, which I'm not a fan of right now. So I might have to say goodbye to YouTube Lite because for some reason they decided to pull in the styles, which, you know, let's go to the GitHub repo and see if anyone else has issues with Next. Issues. Next. Doesn't work with Next. Awesome. So we have an issue. Let's see if anyone has any solutions. If you need a quick fix, I made a version that doesn't include CSS, so you can use it with Next.js, and you need to include the styles your own way. Works for me if you install from this. So hopefully this doesn't have some like Trojan horse installed on it. Fix for Next.js. Let's try it out, right? Honestly, I should probably just use the real... Let me put this here. I think that's what you can do. All right, let's see if that actually fixed our issue or not. So let's refresh the page. And it's not working still. I think this is not how you import it. So package, import, GitHub branch. Yeah, that's how you do it. So yeah, I don't know if I need to just do a full on restart of my Yarn server. If this doesn't work, I'm going to switch over to a more readily YouTube embedded. Okay. All right, well, I just wasted a bunch of time. Let's just go and install this one because this other one is not doing what we want. So wait. How come this is the only package JSON? Oh, I installed it. Okay. I think I ran it in the wrong folder. Might be one reason why this isn't working. So if I were to go here, go to my UI and say yarn add, let's see if that puts it in the right folder. Then I'm going to go back up a level, remove the package JSON, remove the yarn lock. And look at the package JSON. We got this now. So hopefully this will work. Let me run my server. Come on, let's get lucky. Let's see. Cannot import statement outside of module. Okay, this is causing too much issues, so let's just scrap this whole idea. And we are going to install this one. You know what? I'm just going to cut the video and I'm going to, okay, whatever. Just install this one, yarn add, see what happens. Probably just get rid of that one and type yarn. I think that'll delete it for us. But let's try this. So basically, you got to import to React YouTube. Unfortunate that we spent that much time trying to figure that out. So instead of importing that one, goodness, import this one, copy that, overwrite this, and I'm going to render out an example they have here, like so. Just paste the options right in here. And let's remove the return statement. Let's return that. Autoplay 1, I guess that's okay. I don't know if we need the onReady. What does onReady do? Access to the player. So if you want to... If you want to like control it, like pause, resume stuff, I guess you can use this. Okay, let's try this again. So video ID. I'm not sure how width and height is going to work. I wonder if I can just say 100% and leave it at that. Hope this works, y'all. Let's just try it. All right, we have it working. So you can basically view it over here. Let me turn my volume down. Let me mute. How about that? So you can preview it. You can full screen it, and you don't have to leave the website. Okay. So the second thing I want to do, there's like a semicolon here. Try to get rid of that. All right. So if you notice, let me close some of these actually. I've got too many tabs open. You notice in the image we have an X here, so we should probably add that to our watch panel at the top left or top right, whatever works. So up here, I'm gonna say, let's add a button with an X, and on click, we could basically close. I'll call a function called onClose, and that can be passed in. So onClose is a property passed in, and we can go back to the panels where we pass that in. We'll make an onClose function that's going to set video equal to null. And I'm going to pass that in as a prop. So we could do this. And now I think when we click on that X, it's going to close it. Let me make sure it's opening up new videos every time. Streaming API docs. Challenging and open. Yeah. So another thing I want to do is instead of just showing the last thing, I also want to show the title, I think, below it in the person. So let's try that. So open up the panel. We want to show the title of the video, and then we also want to show the YouTube channel person name in the avatar and stuff like that. So under here, under the YouTube embedded, let's add an H2, and we can say like video.title. And that should display the title. And then under or right above that, let's do the image and say source is video channel thumbnails, I believe is what it's called. Let's see if this works. Not working. Let's print out what video is. So probably use like the help of the debugger, but I'm just gonna print it out here, see what it has on it. We have thumbnail. Oh, it's called author thumbnails. Let's try that. All right, here we have it. We have the thumbnail. We also need the author. So let's add like an H3 or something and just say video.author. I think that's how you do it. Cool. And then I'm going to go ahead and make this a class called like video author. You know, let's also make this more like BIM-like. So I'll do video author here. We're going to wrap both of those things in, and we are going to basically style that to make it, we should probably make it a link actually. So let's do it a link. We'll have to come back and use like the next equivalent. So anyway, what I'm trying to do here is I want to target the H3 and I want to say display is inline block. You know, actually I might be able to do flexbox here. So let's just make sure you guys can see this. I'm going to say display is flex and see if that does what we want. It did. I want to make the image a little smaller. So image width could be 80 pixels. Target the image, save that. That's still too big. I'll do 50 pixels or less, 40. Height can be 40 pixels. There we go. And then we want to basically align the item center so that the text is centered here. And then we could also probably add some margin right of 20 pixels. And I think there's some margin bottom on this. I'm going to go ahead and move my head over to the other side of the screen because we're working mainly on this panel over here. And I wasn't sure if my head was blocking or not. So this is what it looks like. I think there's too much margin after this. So let's do 10 pixels instead of 20. So 10 pixels. And then we can make that a link. So let's try to find, in our project already, we used a link. And we could basically just import that from next/link. Put it up here. And then to use it, we do something like this. So we just wrap the component that we want inside of a link. Like so. And then I think we can go to video.channel ID. I think we want to make this a tag maybe. Let's see if we click it. Go to different, let's go to Brackeys and then click it. Cool, so it does redirect me to the actual channel, which is good. But it's hard to tell that it is a link, so let's go ahead and just change, instead of doing the link here, let's do it on this. And we could just do that maybe. Let's do next link, and let's look at the docs. I think there's a way to actually make it render out like an E tag. Looks like you do that. So I think we're in the right position, but what's going on here? Go to like coding entrepreneurs and click coding garden. All right, I think that's working. I think we just need to like dial it some more. So let's do video author margin top is 10 pixels. And the link should probably, I don't really like underlines on links, but maybe that's for accessibility. But if we were to just style the link here, so at the image, we could say font size is a little small, so I'm gonna make it a little larger, and I'm gonna say text decoration is none. There. So now we can click on this, and it should take us to the actual YouTube page. I don't know if the title should come above. I wonder if the title should just come above now at this point. So let's just move the title up above the embedded and see. Yeah, I'm going to move both of these up. And add some margin bottom to this. All right. That look good, y'all? I'm gonna do 20. See if that looks good. I don't know, I'm happy with it. I think there could be some more work put on the styling, but so what we want to do now is as you click on these different links, we want to push onto the stack basically. So this watch history is a list, a running list of all the videos you've tried to watch. So you can go back and rewatch something if you wanted to or something. I don't know. I don't know if this is actually going to be useful, but we are going to do it. So we could, all right, so going back to the channels page, instead of passing video, let's rename this to history and set history. And this is going to default to an array. So that will give us the ability to kind of push onto the stack. Okay. And we are going to pass, instead of video, we're going to pass history here. And we are going to clear out history when we close it. Oh, okay. So we might have to also add a state variable for, okay. I'm going to add another one called watch panel opened. It is watch panel open, and I'm going to set it. So that's going to default to false. No, we'll do true for right now. So the page, I don't know, false or true. And on close, we can set this to false. Does that make sense, you all? So using a different state variable to determine if the panel is toggled out or not. And then we're going to use another state variable to basically have a running list of history. So when you click on one of these links now, instead of doing set video here, we could probably call set history. And I probably want to add another function here called const add to history. And that could just take in a video as a parameter. And we could say set history of new array ... history. And we want the video to be first in the list. Okay, so down here, we are going to basically call at history, pass to the video. And I think we're kind of close. I think what we need to do now is go here instead of video. This needs to take in history. And we probably want to map. So instead of doing all this hard-coded stuff, we're going to say history.map video, and we are going to return a fragment of all this stuff. Let's see if this works. So now as I click, oh, it closed by default. So let's make this true. You know, I'll make it false, and I'll click on something. So when I click on this one, it was supposed to open up the panel. It did not. So let's see what's going on here. Add to history. So this should also open it. So let's just make sure we call set is watch panel open here. So if you click on this, notice that it opened up in the very top of our list. Okay, we don't want autoplay true because that is making them all play when we open the panel. That's a big issue. So we're just going to make them show up there. And if I go to someone else like Rackies and click on this one, he shows up at the top of the list. Tyler Moore, click on this one, he shows up. WordPress shows up. It's a little laggy though. I'm not sure if we maybe need to limit this by like 5. React is strange with performance. Once you actually compile your React component, your React application and publish it, it runs a lot quicker. But when you're doing local development, there's a lot of performance things it's doing like behind the scenes. I guess relates like prop types and checking and all that stuff, which really makes your application slow when you're doing local development. But yeah, I think this looks okay. So the last thing, you notice in this panel, we have an X here. I want to make that look a little nicer. So I'm going to go and find another, I think it's called React Icons. There should be a library called React Icons. We could just import. So like this. And load up our terminal, load up a new terminal. I'm going to run that command. That should install it so we can use it. And then to use it, it looks like you just import it like this, and you can use it as a component. So we want to find an X. So let's go to React Icons, and we want to search for close. All right, so this one looks good enough for me. So if you copy it, what you can do is basically use that instead. Like that. And then I think it should auto import. Maybe not. You might have to do it like this. Let's see if this works. So going back to our component, that did not work. Why did that work? /FA. Maybe I have to do /FA on it. Looks like maybe I have to do AI. Cannot resolve React. What? Alright, let's just follow to the tutorial. Let's make sure this one actually works. So if I were to instead try to render out FA beer, does this actually render? React icons, I'm getting an error. So React icons that blah, blah, blah. Okay, when you use the v3 way of importing the icons, you should not have lib be part of the import path. The icons also have an icon name as the prefix in the exports. Okay. That is what I'm doing. So I don't know if I need to do a hard reset on my server. Something's going on here. Module not found. Can I find module React? Can I not find React? So let me add the keyword next, because maybe it's a Next.js thing that's not compatible. Well, sometimes you have to just count your losses. I don't know what it's called, but I'm going to use, instead of React icons, because obviously this doesn't work off the bat, I'm going to use Font Awesome React, because I've used it in the past and it works pretty good. So let's just go to the docs. We can install it like this. Let's install all these and run that. And then we should be able to use it. So let's use that instead. And let's see if this actually shows something up. Play something. Font Awesome icon is not, okay, so I need to import it. So let's make sure I go back to the docs and make sure we import it like so. And it's definitely not rendering out. I don't know if I need to do something special. We got a Font Awesome icon, FAL coffee. The question is why do I need to like read through this more? Icon is FA coffee. Maybe we could try this approach, and instead of doing that, we could just pass in FA coffee. There we go, that worked. There's a coffee icon. So yeah, screw React icons. This doesn't seem like it works. We are going to use Font Awesome because I've always used this and it always works for me. So let's go and look at the icons, and we just want to close one. Now, which one? Let's do the black one. So this is a FOSS, so we could do FOSS window, F8 window close. I think they keep the naming convention pretty similar, so we could just import that one. And there we have it. We have a close button. Now it's wrapped in a button, so this is kind of, we need to kind of fix that. So I'm going to say watch panel and close button. So what we could do is add a class name to this called close button. Watch panel underscore close button. And we can say background none, border none. And there we have it. Cursor could be a pointer. We could probably make it bigger, so font size 32 pixels. Looks good. I don't know if we want to keep it on the left side or the right side, but I think that looks okay. And then when you hover over it, we should probably give it a color of like a lighter gray. That's not that good. Let's see. Okay. All right. So now I think what we could do is give this some drop shadow because it's kind of blending in with everything. So I'm going to go find where we do box shadow again. And I'm going to just steal this from the banner. And I'm going to put it directly on my close, my watch panel here. And I'm going to give it a -2 for the X and a 0 for the Y. And it's going to crash because I think I screwed some of my CSS up. Cool. So just to give it, so it's like, kind of makes it distinct and on top of this other header in case we have it. Okay. Now I do foresee an issue with the watch history being too long and causing it to be really slow. So I think what we might want to do is we want to limit how many we have in the histories array, right? So we could have as many as we want here if we really want to, but the watch panel, let's add like a limit so that we could set it to like equal to 10 or 5 by default. And we actually want to basically say filtered history is equal to history splice of limit. Is it slice? I think it's slice, not splice. So we can map over that. So what that's going to do is basically say give us from index 0 to index 10 if there is more than 10. And then we only have 10 left. So if I wanted to, I could basically go to that component, which was here. I could say limit of 1. And now if I go back to the UI, notice that as I click, it only ever shows us one YouTube embedded. So if we ever needed to come back and make this more performant, yeah, I added 10. Now it's a little bit slower now, but I think it looks pretty good. We could also, if you click off of the panel, we could close it. There might be an npm package for doing that. So what I'm going to do is try to find if there's like an npm on click out. Say React. React click outside. This package needs your support. Okay. Menu, handle click outside. How does this work? So it looks like you import this and you wrap your component with it. So let's try this out. I'm going to say yarn add that. Hope this package works. It's always risky just grabbing random packages because like half the time they don't work exactly how you think they should. So it looks like you import this one and then he basically has a config here. And then he Let me put it here. How about that? What is he doing with this? He wraps his menu and passes the config. So we need to actually, I think, wrap this whole thing. I think we can do something like this. And wrap this. We'll find out. So basically wrap your component with calling that function, give it a callback, handle click outside, menu handle click outside. So this seems very hacky. I'll be honest with you all. All right, so this ain't gonna work. What I need to do is I need to basically say const channel page is equal to all of this. Okay, we have that. Const channel page, and then what we could do is export it here, I believe. So we'll do that. And he's saying, or they're saying, whoever maintains the project, you basically say channel page dot handle click outside. Oh my gosh. You say handle click outside. And then you can say that watch panel open the false. I'm not sure I like this library, but let's give it a shot. Yo, what's up with these people like having packages that don't work with Next.js? This one doesn't work on it either. Like, are y'all serious, man? Alright, I'm gonna undo all that. I don't want to waste time trying to debug that. I could just probably do my own effect and just listen to when you click on something. This programming sucks. So I added the limit there, and then I started adding click outside. Alright, let's get rid of that stuff. We don't want React icons, we don't want that. Let's just delete that. And I think I could just say yarn, that should remove it. Alright, well, I'm going to wrap this video up. We can come back and add some more cool features to it, but I think we made some progress on the watch history panel, so I'm happy about that. So yeah, if you're new to this channel, be sure to subscribe if you enjoy watching videos like this, because it could hopefully help you learn React and become a web developer. Be sure to give me a like, because it helps my channel grow. And also leave a comment below if there's a particular issue you want me to work on next. I'm just going to slowly go through all these issues. And I think the watch panel is basically done. So I'm going to just go ahead and close this one. Yeah, so, all right. Thanks, y'all. Have a good day. Happy coding.